Hey guys, I'm Michael. New style of video today, busting out the whiteboard. Don't know if you guys are gonna like this or not. I've got Kendall on my side over here. What she is doing is I'm about to go through credit cards for you in eBay reselling, and she is there, mic'd up, ready to go.
Hello.
If she says anything while I'm going through this, she might bring up a question that you guys might have if you're watching this. She's basically trying to emulate you guys watching this and have questions coming up as I go through this so that I can answer them and hopefully answer all the questions you guys have as I go through this on the whiteboard. I thought about doing this on the computer and doing a screen share. I just decided not to. I think we're just gonna do it like this. So video here is not planned. We're just gonna roll through what I know whenever it comes to credit cards. I've done a lot of research over the past couple of years, figuring out the best ones to use for eBay reselling specifically, as well as a few that we're gonna talk about to where if you're reselling but you don't have a business set up yet, that you can use within your means of what you can achieve to get whenever it comes to the credit card world for personal cards. And FYI, we use Chase. So all of these credit cards here that you see, these are the four main ones that we're gonna talk about that benefit resellers in the eBay space or e-commerce space. These are the four main ones, but there are two here that are personal cards. You guys might already have them, honestly, if you're Chase users. And the two business ones are going to be the two that benefit your shipping and your inventory cost. All right, before we get into the actual rewards of each card, we're gonna explain real quick about how the reward system on Chase works. So they use a point method, which I think everyone does. And the reward system is every $1 is worth 100 points. So whenever we're going through this, we might say 1.5% cash back in quotations on X, Y, and Z purchases. What they're giving you is 1.5% points in value to what you spend, which in turn means a cash back. So if you have 100 points in your account after spending, let's say $100, you have 100 points, which is not this exact dollar, but if you went out and spent $100 and you had left over 100 points in your account, then you could redeem those for straight up cash to cash value of $1, because that is the ratio of this. It's a 1-to-1 ratio for cash exchange. We're specifically going to be talking about a lot of travel stuff in this video. So if you don't travel, great. There's still things in here that will work for you. And if you do travel, this video is going to blow your mind. Before we get into the business stuff, there are personal cards. There's a singular personal card that is worth getting no matter if you have a business, if you don't have a business. It's worth getting in general because it's $0 a year to have. And if you use it, we'll get into it later, but there are things you can do with that points to make it worth more than the rewards that are on the surface. So we've got the
Freedom Unlimited.
Freedom Unlimited. All right, Unlimited, Freedom Unlimited. Personal credit card. You can get it if you are banking with Chase, I believe. All of these cards, I believe you have to bank with Chase. But you get this if you bank with Chase. It is $0 a year, and it is 1.5% cash back on all purchases. So Kendall and I, for reference, we have both personal bank accounts with Chase, and we have business bank accounts with Chase underneath our S Corp. And so both of those intertwine underneath the same UI, which is super nice. If you're in the app, I have a personal tab and a business tab, and I can easily see both of them.
UI is user interface.
User interface, for those of you who don't know what UI means.
I just put that together over here.
I can open up my app and I can see both on the app, both personal and business. So it's not like two different logins or anything. They both combine, which is super cool. But 1.5% cash back on all purchases, personal expenses. If you have an LLC, you obviously know you separate business versus personal. If you don't have an LLC, you probably have but all the things combined to one. It is 1.5% cash back on everything. There is no other personal card besides the one that we're going to talk about, which is the Sapphire Reserved, but that one is not really worth it for eBay resellers unless you spend a ton of money on the personal side of your budget, and then it reaps the rewards and levels out. But for Kendall and I, for example, if we did not have the eBay business, we would have this card and we would not have the card we're talking about in the future, the Sapphire Reserved, because it is a yearly fee that is too high to reap the benefits. But so if you own a business or if you don't own a business, get this card. If you're deciding to go with Chase at the end of this video, get this card for your personal stuff, put your gas on it, put your food on it, put whatever you want on it. We do gas and food on it. Everything else we pay cash. And then, yeah, so we put gas and food on it, and then I'll get into it later, but there's something you can do with the points to make it better. So skipping over now the personal section, we're gonna go to business. We have the people who have their LLCs, their S Corp set up, and they are rocking and rolling. They're mid-tier resellers. Even if you're part-time, you can get a business license, you can get these business accounts set up. It's not that hard. I think for us, it cost $300 to get the LLC set up whenever I did it. And if you're a larger scale business and you don't have this set up, the credit card rewards alone will be worth more than the $300 by the end of the year. The bonus they give you alone for the cards we're about to talk about is worth the same. No, it's worth way more. Yeah, it's worth like 4 times the amount than the LLC establishment. So the business cards, these are the big ones. These are the ones that everyone is curious about. If you have a business set up, this is going to be your Inc. Unlimited. Unlimited, and then your business preferred. All right, so Inc. Unlimited, business preferred. Both of these two things have 2 different reasons to have within eBay reselling. The Inc. Unlimited, it's the exact same as the Freedom Unlimited. Absolutely, from my understanding, no difference. Besides maybe the bonus structure. I don't know the bonus on this. It probably is more. Being a business, you'll probably get more of a bonus once you hit the benchmark they want within 3 months, whatever it is. But it is still $0 a year, and it is still 1.5% cash back in forms of points, cash points. So the difference is that whenever you end up getting your LLC set up and your S Corp, you typically end up, some people don't make the wise decision of doing this, but you typically split the finances. So you have your business checking, savings account, whatever, and then your personal checking savings, and you run all of your inventory and all that other stuff through this account, and you run all your personal through this account. For this example, Inc., why would you get this card if you already have this card and you have both these accounts? This one would be used for inventory and all other purchases, and this one would be used for all your personal stuff. This is not a financial advice, by the way. This is just what we do, and it works for us. Talk to a CPA about how you should structure these accounts, but for us, this is how we structure ours, and it worked perfectly. So we have the Inc. Unlimited. We use for 1.5% cash back on everything. This account right here, this is the golden ticket to travel. This card is everything. This is the bread and butter to making absolute bank off of credit cards. This card right here gives you 3% cash back on shipping labels. That is unheard of. Kendall and I, by the way, spend $5,000 to $6,000 a month on shipping labels. So we end up getting 3% back on the $5,000 to $6,000. And I'll give you a secret, like I said, later on in the video of how to maximize that 3% to make it worth even more. We're gonna get into that here in a minute. Business preferred. There are 5 categories within it. I don't know all the 5 categories. The other 4 are basically absolutely useless to resellers. The one that matters is shipping labels. So shipping labels get 3% cash back, cash to points. And it costs, there is a cost, a yearly cost to this. So this is where you're gonna have to go out and figure out how much does my business do in shipping labels a year versus how much do I get in the rewards, and figure out if this $95 a year cost is worth getting those rewards. So if you're spending $1,000 a year on shipping labels, you're only gonna be getting $30 in rewards. So that doesn't make sense. Now, if you're spending $4,000 a year on shipping labels, that would be $120 in expenses or in cash back that you get. And that might be worth it, you know, because you're spending $95. You end up netting, what is that? $25. So you end up netting $25 if you end up spending $4,000 a year on shipping labels. For Kendall and I, Like I said, we end up spending $5,000 minimum a month on shipping labels, so we end up getting about $150 a month back from this card alone, just by swapping it. And I'm gonna, at some point in this video, give you a tutorial on how to swap it over in PayPal. There's a way to spend credit cards on shipping labels in eBay. I'll show you how to do that probably towards the end of the video. The other benefit to this card is that it is considered a travel card in Chase's portal. So if you don't end up using it for cash, you can end up using it for travel, which on this card, it redeems for more value. So if you're traveling. So if you take, let's say you have points worth $100 and you redeem them to cash. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Let's say you have points worth $100. You can redeem it for travel underneath this credit card in their portal worth $125. So if you have $100 in cash with points in this card, but there's a flight you want to take from Dallas to Chicago that's it costs $125, it's only going to cost you $100 worth of points. And so they give you a 25% increase in value for travel. That includes airplanes, that includes cruises, rental cars, hotels, and there's also an entertainment tab. So if you go out to Cabo like we did, we booked a yacht cruise to go see the arches and have a dinner, and we got to do that through the Chase portal that paid for the entertainment of that cruise. The whole thing was covered. So there are multiple different things that you can do through the travel portal with this card.
Does it have to be personal, or does it have to be business travel, or can it be personal?
It can be either
travel?
or. So the way credit card points works is that they're not taxable whenever you redeem them, and you can use them for my understanding, again, not financial advice, but from my understanding, if you have points in this personal card, in this business card, you can use them for personal expenses. So because it's not a line item in the budget, so it's a reward that is being benefited to you, and it doesn't have to be used for business related purposes. And I have not gotten into it yet, but we're going to get into it right now, tying into this part. So if you get to this stage, right, like if you run your numbers, and I don't have the numbers to tell you what you should and should not do whenever it comes to credit cards, you're going to have to run those numbers and the rewards. I'm just giving you an outline of what we do and how it works for us, and it is definitely worth doing what we do if you're at our volume. But you can, in Chase, which is unlike a lot of platforms, you can transfer cards from this card to this card, and as in points, I mean the rewards, and you can transfer rewards from this card to this card. So these two cards, the unlimited cards, they do not offer any percent value reward exchange for travel. So you can't get the $100 worth $125 if you're trying to book underneath these two cards. But what you can do in Chase is transfer the points from this card and this card to this card. So let's say you have $100 in the business preferred account, and let's say you have 100 worth of points in the Inc. Unlimited from your business, and let's say you have another 100 worth in the Freedom Unlimited. You can take the 100 from here and the 100 from here and transfer them to the business preferred, which would then bring your points value worth $300 under the business preferred. That then redeems for 1.25 times the value for travel underneath this card, even though you earn them on the unlimited cards. And that equals $375 worth of travel. So instead of redeeming these for cash to cash equivalents for $200 and this one for another 100 and you get $300, everyone travels probably, I think most people travel at least once a year, and they probably at least spend $375 on hotels, airplanes, whatever the things that I just said. You can transfer entertainment, whatever.
Cars.
Yeah, rental cars. You can transfer them to this card and redeem them for $375 worth of value. So you basically get a $75 return on these points for just transferring them to this card. Gets better than that as we go on. So this is probably all, like these three cards are probably all where most people are at. You have your part-time resellers, you have your small scale full-time resellers who are doing, they're probably doing around six figures, around $100,000 a year in sales, maybe 10 items a day, 5 to 10 items a day. And so I don't know the exact numbers. It could be 10 items a day for all I know. Again, you'll have to go through and figure out what's going to work best for you. You might have this next card that we're talking about because it is a personal one, and this is the final card, and this is the ultimate. Like I said, this was the ultimate. This card and this card with this last card we're about to bring up is like the king of kings. This is like the craziness of craziness. So we're going to be talking about the Sapphire Reserved. This is a personal credit card. This is not business related. Anyone can get this. The downside and the only downside to this, and why I say small, this is probably all like medium to small size resellers, is this card costs $550 a year. It's a huge yearly expense, but there is some benefits to this card that make it 100% worth it if you're someone who travels. So, and you have a larger scale eBay business. So it's a $550 yearly annual fee. Here's the catch though. If you do travel at all, every single year, you know you're going to be traveling. Every single time this thing renews, ours renews in July. So we've got 1 month till it renews. Once this thing renews, you get, and we've already used it, you get a $300. I might double check me if I'm correct, but I believe it is a $300 credit towards travel. So if you go and book at any point a hotel using this card, an airline ticket using this card,
Airport parking,
Ubers,
Ubers,
all the thing, Ubers,
Ubers.
everything I explained earlier plus more. If you pay for it through this card, they will automatically on your statement reimburse you up to $300 for that bill cycle. So ours is July to July, and then we've already spent our $300, so we got reimbursed instantly for it. Here's the other craziest part about this card, is that all of these 3 cards I was talking about earlier with the points and stuff, all of those points can transfer to this card, and this card redeems for 1.5 times value compared to this one at 1.25, this one at 1, and this one at 1. So basically, your 1.5% up here redeems into 2.25% down here. Same with this one, 1.5 into 2.25. The shipping labels, they go from 3% cash back on travel into 4.5% cash back on travel. So if you spend $1,000 a month on shipping labels and you're getting 3% cash back, you end up getting $30 a month, and then it transforms into $45 a month if you're down here with this card, because you can transfer the points down there. So for us, what we do is that we put the shipping labels on this card, business expenses, everything other than shipping labels on this Ink Unlimited card, and then Freedom Unlimited, like I said, we use for gas and all that other stuff. We accumulate points on these 3 cards, and everything transfers down to this card right here. We don't ever redeem points on any of these 3 cards, and the only reason we have this card is to redeem those points. The other cool thing about this card is that there are a lot of other subtle rewards that you get that we have used over the past few months. One of them is being you get access to 1,400 different plus lounges across the entire world for completely free. Whenever we went to Cabo, we came back and they had a lounge there, usually $75 per person to get in. We got in for free. It was unlimited food, unlimited drink, and we just got to walk in while we waited for our overlay and enjoy that. And then the other thing is that
you can pay yourself back on the card, which is really
yes,
cool.
That's what I was getting at. So every quarter they cycle a few things that you can end up using the points for. So last quarter before March, it was gas and groceries. So anytime we spent money at Aldi's or Walmart or Kroger or Tom Thumb, we could end up going back into our credit card statement and using the points for those things at a 25% reward value. So if we spent $125 at Tom Thumb, we could use $100 worth of points and use that towards our grocery pickup or grocery orders. So, or going to the grocery store. We didn't have to order through. We just went there and bought stuff. So super cool thing, because like the last quarter that we had, we didn't spend any money on gas and we didn't spend any money on groceries. So enough said about the Sapphire Reserved. I know a lot of people are not going to be able to reasonably make this make sense unless your personal expenses are really high and you end up spending a lot throughout the month. And
Or if you already have the card.
I was about to say, and you already have the card. Like if you already have this card, great, get these ones and roll it into that one. And you can make absolute bank off of the extra stuff that you're doing. So this is the 4 cards that we use every single day, and they end up making us a lot of money just having them. So
well, yeah, we're already spending the money, so it's nice to be able to reap the benefits. And I want to go to Santorini, so we're just getting closer and closer to getting to go to Santorini.
Yeah. And I don't think I mentioned it yet, but we do have links in the description and in the comment section of all of the affiliate links for these cards. If you do go check them out, and if you down the road you decide you might want to get one as you scale up your business, or if you get one today after watching this video, go use those links. They do support us a little bit. We get a few miles every time someone signs up and uses that link. And as well as go and check out the bonuses on those cards, each one of them. Each one of them does have a bonus. You sign up, if you spend a certain amount of money within a certain time frame, you get a huge bonus. I know that the one that we use for shipping, the business preferred, I know that one is you end up getting $1,000 worth of points if you hit the bonus. So definitely go check those out. The bonuses alone might just make it worth it for you, and use those affiliate links now and in the future. So in 2 months from now, if you decide you want to get one, come back to the video, click the link, and sign up for it. I'm trying to take Kendall over here to Santorini. That being said, I'm surprised Kendall didn't say more. I guess my presentation was much better than the first time I go around, but anything else, any other questions that you had throughout it?
I don't think I have any other questions. I think it's hard from my perspective to ask too many questions just because these are our finances that I know about, and I know these cards very well.
Yeah, we're both very in tune with how money flows in and out of the business and all that stuff. So yeah, go check out the links.
Questions, please.
Yeah, if you have questions, leave a comment.
Yeah.
We'll answer all of them for you. I love talking about this stuff, finances, and maximizing rewards whenever there are rewards on the table for you to grab. And again, I believe you have to Chase or bank with Chase to get these cards, but there are other credit card companies if you're smaller scale that provide 1.5% cash back on purchases whenever it comes to business and personal. But if you're small scale, big scale, the only thing that Chase offers that other banking companies do not, from my understanding, is the ability to transfer points through these different cards, as well as obviously they're a huge corporation and they have a lot of networks with those travel agencies if you're into travel, for getting better flight prices or getting access to the lounges and all those things. So a lot of micro rewards that happen within each card. And Kendall has a question.
It's not a question, but there's a huge following of people that do travel hacking. Mm-hmm. And so I myself have researched the Sapphire Reserved card. You can actually transfer some of those to even different hotel chains that have different point system. So things just begin to multiply, and the possibilities really are endless. So you're not stuck with the Chase travel portal. You can get your points out of Chase and not just go get cash. You can transfer them to different hotel partners too. Yeah, it's insane.
They're partnering with a lot of different airlines and hotels. Alaskan Airlines, British Airlines, I think. A lot of different things you can transfer on there and see if you can get better deals. For us, we keep it simple and just keep it on Chase, but you can definitely get in a huge rabbit hole whenever it comes to these cards and how to maximize your points. Mm-hmm. So, all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's definitely going to be a longer format video, as you've seen by the length of the video, but it is much easier for me to just word spit onto a whiteboard and go through my thoughts as we go through it and tell you what I know from my years of doing this stuff, than try to put together a video that's condensed, and that ends up taking me 5-6 hours to condense a video, whereas I just turn my camera here and start rocking and rolling. So a little bit longer, probably 10 minutes longer than me condensing it, but you guys might have gained something better than me condensing it. So let me know down below if you have any questions, and thank you, Kendall, for sitting here and not asking me a single question.
You are so welcome.
All right, catch you guys next. All right, so quick tutorial on how to set up the credit card to pay your shipping labels through that credit card. It is kind of tedious if you don't know how or never have seen it done. But you go to eBay, go up here to account settings, and then you go to payments. And then what you're going to be doing in the payments section is setting up a PayPal account here. So set up that PayPal account and link it to eBay so that it can then charge the PayPal account, because you cannot add a credit card into this area to pay for shipping labels. You can only pay shipping labels with either PayPal, or you can pay it with the funds that are already in your eBay account. So then once you do that, we're going to go to the next step, which is you're going to go to the PayPal website, and you are going to, if you have not already done this, create a PayPal account, go back to the first step, add it to eBay, and then come to the PayPal website and click the settings icon up here in the top right next to logout. I'm going to skip that next section because it's going to show a lot of personal information, but you click that and then you'll be on a page similar to this, and you're going to be clicking the payments tab here, which then takes you to this page we're on. And here you're going to set up a payment method for backup. So backup payment method you're going to set up here, and you're going to click that and go through linking a card, and you are going to connect the credit card that you want to use for shipping labels. And lastly, once all that stuff is set up and ready to go, whenever you are mailing your next order, and you are, before you click the purchase shipping label section down here, you are going to change from your funds to the PayPal account. So instead of using your funds, you're going to switch it to the PayPal account. It should default set it then after that. I don't think there's a way to change it within the settings to default. I think once you click this and purchase this label, every single label going forward, it will use this method. If that is not the case, then you'll have to go back to the payment section and select PayPal to be the default method of payment, but it should automatically change this to default once you do this once, and it's going to run that cost through your PayPal and through that backup credit card, because you have a $0 balance in PayPal. If you have a balance in your PayPal account, it's going to use the money that's in the balance. So you want to set up a new PayPal account that's never going to have a balance if you're a PayPal user, and just have an account set up that has absolutely no money in it, and have a backup of that card so that it charges that card. Pretty simple to set up. That's how you do it, and it will then start raking in all the points that you need for going and traveling.